It's way past time I dispense some indiscriminate justice!
G'day guys, Duckville here. We're going to watch a replay from the NRG tournament that took place up in Sydney just on the weekend. This was actually the same weekend that MLG took place as well. So this is going to be between two Protoss players. We've got some fancy toys there, as you can see there. We got the groovy little name bar there with the supply also showing all these fancy new toys. Thank you for Blizzard for putting some of these things in, which is very cool. But as I was going to mention, our two Protoss players, we've got nGenLight here. This is Light from the C server, of course, and his opponent down here in the bottom is this is Tens. It actually says Tens, but it's not actually Tens. This is the Korean player ST2. He is a fantastic player. He's a little bit of a sort of a yo-yo player, where he'll be up some days, down some days, walking the dog the other days, but he's still a very quality player, and we've seen him in GSL. We saw him at IEM, and we also saw him in some of the Zotac tournaments, I believe he was also in. But this is a PvP. I know some of you who may follow me on Twitter are probably wondering, what the hell are you doing casting a PvP? You hate PvP. I certainly do, but I'm hoping that, well, A, that this is a quality matchup that we will have here. It is a best of 5, I believe, or is it a best of 7? I don't know. I wasn't there because that's in the tournament took place in another city to where I am. We'll just see these probes go past each other. And just before we get too far into the game, the other reason that I was actually doing it is just to support, obviously, some of these Australian tournaments that we have going on down here, showing that we can certainly do it with the best of them, as Moonglade can attest to, being up there in the GSL, not doing a fantastic job in the GSL so far, but I'm sure he is definitely going to come back and show everyone how it is done from a Zerg perspective. But we do see here that both of these guys have gotten up standard sorts of openings there, almost the exact same timings for everything as well. We do see that nGen is actually getting a Zealot out first. He's going to grab that and probably try and get this probe out of the way before he starts up the full-on tech. But yeah, as I was saying, the other reason was just to get some local talent going out there. As we can see, these guys, as I was just saying before, Light is a very, very high quality player. He's in the top 20 on the C server. I know we have started a new season, but either way, he's a very good player. The other thing I just wanted to quickly mention before we get too far into the game was, if you are in Sydney and you are going to the University of Sydney, I believe it is, there has been a what do they call them? A society sort of starting up, like a little, society group thing for where you hook up with some other StarCraft players. If you are interested in joining that, jump onto Team Liquid and actually just have a quick search around for UTS StarCraft Society, and you can find some more details in there, or do send an email through to uts.starsoc, that's SOC, @gmail.com. I'll put some more details in the description. But yeah, if you're an Aussie player and you are down in Sydney town and you're looking for some folks to hang out with and talk some StarCraft shizzle, make sure you hook up with those guys, because that would be cool to jump into those sorts of communities. But back to the game, we do see that nGenLight has gotten this this very quick stalker opening that we do see from many Protoss players these days, instead of going for heavy 4 gates, of course, being the general matchup, that the general production that you will see in a PvP, is actually to get out a few stalkers and then run around and make sure you are controlling any areas near your base. And as we can see here, he's got 4 stalkers in total now, and he is doing a great job of just running around, making sure that there are no probes running about placing pylons, because that's essentially what PvP has sort of turned into, where you will see 4 gates in pretty much 90% of your games, if not more than that. But we do see here, quite interestingly, which is I'm something very happy about, actually, is a 2 gate from both of these players straight into the robotics facility. So we're not going to see anything too hardcore. And as we can see here from Light, he's opting to actually go for 3 gate blink, which we'll probably see here. I highly doubt this is going to switch into DTs, because they're not the most favorable thing in this particular matchup. Generally, Protoss players always do grab a quick robotics there. We do see that ST2 didn't actually get inside to see what tech was coming up, but as I mentioned, the robotics facility is something quite common in this matchup. If you can get past the 4 gate stage, and as we can see here, SC Ace is not actually in any sort of position to see what is happening here in Light's base. Now we do have a probe moving out here. It is going to run down with these stalkers. We've got a grand total of the 9 stalkers, and an extra one just warping in there off the side of the cliff. That's a bit risky. I hope he's got a parachute. But the problem is for Light is that tens, of course, or not tens, it's ST Ace, isn't it? I'm forgetting my own rules here. Ace has actually gotten an Immortal out and he's pumping out another one. No, he's not. It's an Observer. So he's going to have an Observer out. Now, generally, your counter to Blink is to grab an Immortal or 2, preferably 2 if you can get it down by the time the opponent arrives. And as we can see here, we do have a pylon going down. He's still not aware of what is actually up inside this base. He does know that there are 2 gates, and that is about it. He does not know what is lurking at the top of this ramp, so we'll see if Light can actually push through. Generally, you'd see something like one of the Stalkers come up and then try and actually get all of your Stalkers blinked up on top of the Immortal so you can take it out very quickly if possible. But I'm not really sure if this is going to work for Light because, there, as I said, there are the 2 Immortals there. Attempts the blink up, but the probe did not get far enough up the ramp and that blink failed. If that blink had have gone off, this could have been a different story, but effectively that one tiny thing is actually going to decide the rest of this game, I would say, because now ST Ace is in a quality position here. He's got a few Stalkers out, he's got 1 sentry just in case, a Zealot and a couple of Immortals, and he's easily going to hold this position here while he techs up himself. Now, we do see that he is getting a Twilight Council, and he will probably try and grab his own blink so that he can effectively nullify the blink of the Stalkers from Light. He is going to have a little bit of a battle here. We do see 1 Stalker getting caught out there, losing 1 Stalker each. They do actually sort of cross past and then retreat after that. This pylon is going to go down quite quickly, and those Stalkers did not have a good trip in from Aya. They have been destroyed on their way here. That is not cool at all, and we will see that Light is not in the greatest position. So what you want to see from here is, you know, if you're in Light's position, your opponent has some Immortals, your Blink Rush is countered, what are you going to do? The best thing, as we can see here from Light, is actually to try and grab your expansion, try and stay up on the expansion, get that extra economy flowing as soon as possible. What you do not want to do is lose any of these Stalkers, so make sure you keep the Stalkers in check, make sure they're safe, blinking them around. Beautiful work there by Light, keeping on top of that micro there. And effectively, if he can actually hold on, continue producing some units and stay just a little bit ahead of where ST Ace is, he will be in a fantastic position. As we can see here up on the map, Ace actually has a pylon building here, and he's got a probe running around trying to probably put some more pylons down so we can warp in the back here. The Immortals, they're actually catching some of those Stalkers. We did see a lot of them go down. Let's have a quick look at the units tab. We have 14 Stalkers for Light against the 11, 12, 14 Stalkers of Ace, plus the 2 Immortals, plus a few Zealots. Now, obviously, as we mentioned, he's got a fantastic economy position here, but it looks as if it's not going to work out too well for him because he's going to have an attack coming in through the side here. We do have an extra pylon up here on the side of the base of Light, and I do not think this is going to go well. Some beautiful micro here. It's getting serious. Let's pull the UI down. There we go. The Immortals doing great damage here. They are focusing on the Zealots, which was not a really cool idea from Ace, but GG there from Light, and that is the first game there to ST Ace. So fantastic play there. Just doing a very safe build, grabbing the Immortals firstly, and then starting to push out, and just deciding that his opponent was probably going to be a little bit light on units, moving up and taking advantage of that. So brilliant play from Ace. We will go on to game 2, which I think is on Scrap Station, I believe, and we'll see what happens on that map. That is also pretty much a 4-gate map. If you don't 4-gate, you are going to be in trouble. So we'll see what happens there. Hoping to see all of you guys in that game. Let me know what you think about this game. Put some comments in. Let us know what you would have done in Light's situation. All that sort of stuff. Thanks, guys. Cheers.